Welcome back to Conspiracy Theories and Chill. On this episode, we are going to take an in-depth look at Lucis Trust, a Luciferian organization with ambitions to rule and conquer the world that is headquartered out of the United Nations. Formerly located at 666 United Nations Plaza, Lucis Trust is an openly Luciferian organization, and they not only operate out of the UN to this day, they have a large presence at the UN itself. A large mural, for which Lucis Trust is the custodian, hangs on the wall prominently of the UN Security Council room. This room, where wars are planned and global conflicts are discussed, the place where world leaders meet to discuss the most crucial and important things happening in the world, happens under this mural. Now let's look at this mural a little closer.
Giant mural that towers over the Security Council room. The central focus of the UN mural is the phoenix bird that has risen. The phoenix bird is a symbol of Lucifer. Egyptians believed that the phoenix symbolized a god who rose to heaven in the form of a morning star like Lucifer after his fire immolation of death and rebirth. Notice that the phoenix bird is not standing above his own ashes. He is standing above his old skin. Like a snake, he has shed his old skin and is revealing himself as God at the center of the mural. At the top left, there is a church steeple without a cross. The missing cross symbolizes the death of Christianity. Below, a woman receives the rays of the sun god, while the man in front of her plays Pan's flute. To their right are two pyramid symbols and people joined together by a long blue serpent-like cloth. Below the risen phoenix, a sword is driven through a dragon beast. This represents the killing of old beliefs and religions that depicted Lucifer as a beast. The New World religion worships him as beautiful. Behind the phoenix, the ghostly figures of the walking dead are stepping into a void. They symbolize depopulation. On the right panel, the pale horse from the book of Revelation is the bringer of death to humanity through weapons, hunger, and disease. The man is releasing him. The chained black man represents slavery, while the top panel of the mural shows a technologically advanced white race who control industry, art, and science. In this post-apocalyptic mural, the military man standing on the tail of the beast represents worldwide military power. He tips his helmet to the elite, who are climbing out from underground cities where they safely hid from the apocalypse. In the main oval panel above the phoenix bird, a woman is holding flowers. She is the bride in a wedding ceremony. Could the newlyweds symbolize William and Kate? The serpent in human form is tempting the little girl Eve, who accepts the apple. On the right side of the top panel, a reptilian green creature with scaly skin is dancing with a naked woman while musicians entertain him. The general message of the UN's Phoenix Rising mural is that humanity is stepping into a new Luciferic reality. Beneath this disturbingly prophetic mural, world leaders make global decisions that affect the lives of nearly 7 billion people.
The next interesting thing that Lucius Trust has at the UN is located directly below the Security Council room, the UN Meditation Room. The meditation room at the UN, which Lucis Trust is also custodian of, is 33 feet wide at its widest point by 18 feet long. Now, numerology is very important to these cultists, and 33 is a popular number with the Illuminati, and 18 is, of course, 6 plus 6 plus 6, or 666. In this dimly lit room, in the center, rests a large stone slab which weighs 6.5 tons and is heavily magnetic. Underneath the stone slab is a foundation which connects the slab to the Earth's bedrock, which is supposed to give the meditation room the ability to create an altered mental state. Very interesting, right? But some will still disregard what I've shown you so far as art. So what is Lucius Trust about? What would concern me, other than them being a Luciferian organization with a large presence at the UN? Well, let's look a little deeper into their plan to take over the world, shall we? That's right. Lucius Trust has a plan to take over the world, and they have a 10-point plan, a strategy for a new world order that has been absorbed by the UN into a few of their documents. The number one point on this plan is to take God and prayer out of the education system, to change curriculum to ensure that children are freed from the bondage of Christian culture. Why? Because children go to school to be equipped to face life. They are willing to trust and they are willing to value what is being given to them. If you take God out of education, they will unconsciously form a resolve that God is not necessary to face life. They will focus on those things the school counts them worthy to be passed on, and they will look at God as an additional, if one can afford the additional. The number two strategy is to reduce parental authority over the children. Break the communication between parent and child, so that parents do not pass on their Christian traditions to their children. Liberate children from the bondage of their parents' traditions. Promote excessive child rights. Abolish corporal punishment. And make teachers the agents of implementation. From workshops, teachers tell children, your parent has no right to force you to pray or read the Bible. You are yourself. Have a right of your own. You need to discover yourself. Self-expression, self-realization, self-fulfillment are all buzzwords. Number three, destroy the Judean-Christian family structure. It is oppressive that the family is the core of the nation. If you break the family, you break the nation. Liberate the people from the confines of this structure. Promote sexual promiscuity. Use the advertising industry, media, TV, magazines, and film to promote sexual enjoyment as the highest pleasure in humanity. Make abortion legal and make it easy. Build clinics for abortion, health clinics in schools. If people are going to enjoy sexual relationships, they need to be free of unnecessary fears. In other words, they should not be hampered with unwanted pregnancies. Make divorce easy and legal. Number 5. Free people from the concept of marriage for life. Number 6. Make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. Number 7. Debase art. Make it run mad. Promote new forms of art, which will corrupt and defile the imagination of people, because art is the language of the spirit. That which is inside, you can bring out in painting, music, drama, etc. Number 8. Use the media to promote and change the mindset. Number 9. Create an interfaith movement. Promote other faiths to be at par with Christianity and break this thing about Christianity being the only way to heaven. Number 10. Get governments to make all of these law and get the church to endorse these changes. Now, have they succeeded? Have all of these things become law? Has the church endorsed these things? Now, let's look into Lucis Trust's beginnings and their founder, Alice A. Bailey, to see what else, if anything, is hidden below the surface here. Alice and Foster Bailey founded the Lucis Trust in 1922. Its activities include the Arcane School, World Goodwill, Triangles, a quarterly magazine called The Beacon, and a publishing company primarily intended to publish Bailey's many books. The Arcane School gives instruction and guidance in meditation via correspondence based on the ideas in Bailey's books. World Goodwill is intended to promote better human reactions through goodwill, which they define as love in action. That action included support of the United Nations. The Triangles are groups of 3 people who agree to link up in thought each day and to meditate on right human relations, visualizing light and love pouring into human minds and hearts, followed by the use of the great invocation. It is not necessary for each person to link in thought at the same time each day and need only take a few moments of time. Alice and Foster Bailey founded Lucifer Publishing Company. Lucifer and Lucius came from the same word root, Lucius being the Latin genitive case meaning of light. After the first 2 or 3 years, the name was changed to Lucius Publishing Company. The Theosophical Society also used the name Lucifer for its early magazine. In 1923, with the help of Foster Bailey, Alice Bailey founded the Arcane School, which is part of Lucis Trust. This school provides educational correspondence, meditation instruction, and guided study based on her writings. Bailey continued to work up to the time of her death in 1949. Bailey's mentor was Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, a Russian occultist, philosopher, and author who co-founded the Theosophical Society in 1875. She gained an international following as the leading theoretician of theosophy, the esoteric religion that the society promoted. Blavatsky's work was admired by many, but Adolf Hitler is among the most notorious. So Alice Bailey formed a Luciferian organization copying the work done by her mentor Blavatsky. But how did she get offices at the UN? And why the UN? Well, the UN was founded in 1945 and mostly financed by John D. Rockefeller. And it is the hub of global government and where the current one world government agenda hubs out of. This is the truth of the UN. But even if you go by the UN's charter, you can still see the appeal for Bailey and her organization to infiltrate the UN. But how did they do it? How did a Luciferian publishing company get such influence and an address in the UN? Why is their art so featured in the UN building and important chambers? These important questions don't have very good answers, and I tried hard to find them for you. The fact is that the truth is hard to get at, even now in the age of information. No one really knows why Lucius Trust has such influence, but it is a fact that they do. An openly Luciferian organization headquarters out of the United Nations. Their agenda for global dominance has infiltrated the UN's agenda in full, and all 10 of their tenets for killing Christianity and God and society and bringing the globe into one world government have been achieved. This is the age of deceit. And you must protect yourself in the full armor of God to find the truth. But it is out there. Expose it. Do all that you can to share the truth. Scream it from the rooftops because we are being silenced. And one day, soon, the truth will be destroyed if we don't do all that we can to protect it. So share this video and spread the truth about Lucius Trust. And remember to subscribe to the channel to follow our content in the future. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time right here on Me on Things and Stuff.